Okay, so today I'm going to be doing a little plant tour, which is kind of weird, but you know, your girl loves her some plants, so I'm just going to do it. Yeah, so let's get started. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, there were 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Yeah, I was not counting the air plant. I have 9 plants in my room, which isn't excessive at all. Just get some good oxygen in here, you know, trying to reestablish a good ecosystem in my indoor room. And yeah, so I'm just gonna get started. I think I'm gonna start with the donkey's tail because I love me a donkey's tail. So here it is. It's in like probably I say like a 6-inch planter, and it's just a planter that it came in. I didn't want to repot because these are very difficult to repot. It's called a donkey's tail or a burro's tail, and it only needs watering like every 2 weeks, so like 10 to 14 days. But when you do water it, you have to give it a really thorough soak so that the water goes all through the plant but doesn't stay in the plant. Like, you don't want to just put it on top and then the top layer of soil would be wet, but then the bottom won't. You basically want to run water through it, and there's a bunch of drainage holes on the bottom so it doesn't stay too moist, because if it stays really moist, because it is a succulent, it will start to decay and to die, unfortunately. But the reason I didn't depot this, which I was saying earlier, is because these little leaves pop off super easily. Might as well. So this is, I don't want to do it. It seems so harsh. Okay, there's one here. So these are the little leaves that come off of the stem, and they just fall right off. This one's a pink root. Interesting. Look at that. Probably can't see that. Anyways, but what you do is that when it falls off, you literally just put it on top, and then it will resprout, but it'll reseed, whatever the right word is. So basically every single one of these leaves has water in it, so it doesn't need a lot of water, and each one of these seeds will create a new plant, which is really cool because you get one plant, which they're usually a little pricey, and then from this one plant you can get thousands of plants. And that one I just have hanging up so that it can get good sunlight. This is my Majesty Palm behind me. Might as well get that out of the way. A Majesty Palm is actually pretty difficult to take care of. It's fairly finicky. It does well in a place where it's warm and it's tropical, because it is a tropical plant, so i.e. that's where it would do best. But you're supposed to keep it between 40 and 80 degrees. Anything above or below that can kind of be harmful to the plant. But she is actually doing surprisingly well. I gave her little fertilizing plant sticks, because they're fairly big plants, so they need a fair bit of fertilizer. And they also need some indirect light, so indirect bright light, basically. But once you kind of get into the hang of this plant, it's fairly easy to take care of. That's a lie. It's not easy to take care of. But once you get the hang of how to take care of this plant, it's very worthwhile. It's a beautiful plant. Like the name incites, it is very majestic. One thing though that I have done by accident is that you have to keep the palms, the palm part, dry, or else there'll be a bacteria that forms, a fungal bacteria that forms on the plant leaves, and that will cause those leaves to die. So there is one palm right here that I did spray with this just because I wanted to try it out, and it was the first plant that I got. I had just gotten this little spritzer, which is the spritzer that I use for my air plants, and then some of the plants which require higher humidity, like the umbrella plant and the fern and We'll get into those later. But yeah, so you don't actually want to get the leaves wet, which is kind of weird because it's a plant, so you feel like you should get the leaves wet. Anyways, the next plant after the palm are my 2 pothos plants. I'll grab it. So this is my longer pothos. It has smaller leaves. I think they're just a different variety, but it's incredibly long leaves. And these pothos grow super quickly. They do well in pretty much any light. You don't want to necessarily put them in like direct sunlight or not give them any light at all. You want to give them kind of like a medium range, but like they'll survive in pretty much anything, I think. And these are actually just like super easy to take care of. All you do is you like stick your finger in the soil, and if the soil is dry, then you water it, and if it's wet, you just don't water it and you wait until it dries out. Or not completely dries out, but like you stick your finger like an inch, and then if that's wet at all, then you wait. And I have one here. I have this long one, and then that larger one with larger leaves over there. There's on my desk. I would get it, but my palm's a little bit in the way. Okay, the next one are 2 tropical plants. This one is a fern, and the other one is, I believe, a snake plant. I don't know though, but they're both like fairly easy to take care of. They're kind of like the same regime of care. So you water them about once a week. This is, I think it's a Han's tongue fern. I think it's a Han's tongue fern. I did have a little bit of a blunder with this one. I put it in like direct sunlight just because I was being an idiot. And it did get some sunspots. You can see from here, like this little guy, it just turned brown. Unfortunate, but new leaves will regrow and it'll all be fine. But this one does require a little bit higher humidity, so I use this and spritz it. And then also just keep the soil evenly moist, and same goes for this one. A little bit higher humidity, but just basically keeping the soil moist and you're good. And these I have in 5-inch clay pots. They're fine in smaller pots though. You could probably have them in like 4-inch pots and they'd be fine. Yeah. But the next one is this. I'm not exactly sure how to say this plant's name, but it's Kalanchoe, I think. It's a really beautiful, like very vivid pinky purple. So this one is fine in direct sunlight. I think that you're supposed to have it in like kind of shaded, like indirect sunlight, but direct sunlight is fine. Like it has been blooming and it's been just like continuously blooming, so she's going well. But yeah, she is the same kind of care as the fern and the snake plant. You just have to like water it about once a week and keep its soil evenly moist. The next one that I have, these are my last 2 plants. This is, or I guess I have 3 other air plants over there, but they're just like very small. I think they're called like Xenos or something. I don't know. But they're very small air plants, so I wasn't going to include them. Sorry, guys. But this one is my newest air plant. She is a biggie. She is gorgeous. And all that I do with this one is I spritz her with this bottle. What you can do is you can fill a tub of water, and every like 3-ish weeks, like a while, you can put it in the water and submerge it and leave it in there for a little while and take it out, and it'll be perfectly watered. But these are really cool plants. I keep mine in this like big glass jar. I just like kind of like keeping the dust off of it, and I just kind of like the way that it looks in my jar. So yeah. And then my final one is my baby. This is my umbrella tree plant. It's a dwarf umbrella tree, i.e. why it's tiny. And it's in my prized planter. She's gorgeous. She doesn't have a name. None of my plants do. I'm not that level of crazy plant lady yet, but soon. But her care is pretty much the same. Keep it evenly moist, and make sure that it has lots of sunlight. This one actually is really good in direct sunlight, and this one has grown an immense amount since I bought it like a month and a bit ago. I had to buy all new plants because I wasn't here this summer, so the plant collection was rebloomed. So yeah, that is my little family of plants, and if you guys have any questions, just let me know, and I'll link some of the places that I bought the plants at in the description below, but it's all places in Halifax because that is where I live. So yeah, thanks for watching, and please, if you want, like and subscribe.